about text views. So what are text views? Text views are nothing but a user interface element that displays text to the user. Suppose in this example, welcome to Android Studio over here. As you all can see, this is a text view. A text view in a web application, but this is a text view. This is not editable. This is something that displays text to the user. This is a text view. Now we will see an example of it. So let me create a project over here, and in this project we'll be covering about text views and buttons, both of them in a single project. So let me open up empty activity, and then I'll be naming my application as text view example. I'll be storing it on my D drive, and the package name would be this one, and the language would be Java, and I'll change the API level to 6, that is marshmallow. Yeah, and let me press finish. So Android Studio will do its magic and set up my project. Till then, I'll just pause this video and I'll come back as soon as everything finishes up. By default, there will be a text view inside Android Studio. So let me go to activity underscore mail XML file. Yeah, and as you all can see, by default, as you all can see, let me zoom in this a little bit so that you all can see. It contains a text view over here. It says a text view. Okay, it already by default it contains a text view, and above that it contains a constraint layout. We will speak about layouts in the later on videos, but for now I'm focusing on the text view. So let me show you what is a text view. So text view, as I previously said, text view is nothing but the view that we see, the text that the user can see. We cannot change it. It's not possible to change the text view. It is possible, but programmatically. So we'll see how we can do that. But before that, I just want to show you the XML code in order to produce a text view. So let me press this button over here, that is on the top right corner, this button. So this will open the XML file of this design over here. This XML file basically defines the, as I previously said, this defines the design over here. So this is the text view. So let me remove this one. So let me remove this text view. Let me write backspace. So as you all can see, as soon as I've removed that, there is no text view inside it. So there are two ways to add a text view. One is I can basically write the opening this thing, angular bracket, and I'll have to write text. I'll have to write text over here, and I will have to write view. So this will basically give a suggestion of a text view. I just have to press enter. So it will ask me about the width of this thing. So I'll be writing the wrap content, and wrap content means it will only take the place that is needed. That means, okay, let me just show you. I'm writing wrap content, right? I'll press enter over here, and then after that I'll write text. I'll be writing text over here, text, and some reason this isn't loading. Let me just check why it is not loading. Yeah, so as you can see over here, text, and if I write something like hello world, and as you all can see, as soon as I write hello world, it is taking the place of this, only the place that the text has. So it will basically wrap the content. And if I write hello world as the first program, as you all can see, the size of it is increasing. So this is nothing but wrap content. Hello world is my first program. Yep. And now after that, I'll have to write this, the front slash, to close this one. And now it says some red color over here. View is not constrained. So we'll speak about that now. So first go to the design. Okay. And as you all can see, it is having some 4 dots over here, right? First on the top and on the right, on the left. Okay. These are known as constraints. So as you all can see, when I highlight this text view, it basically shows me a constraint widget which has plus 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 over here. If I want to constrain it to the, so a constraint is nothing but a connection or alignment to another view. So it is basically telling over here, let me show you, the view is not constrained. It only has the design time positions. So it will jump at to 0 comma 0 at runtime. 0 comma is 0 comma 0 is nothing but the value of x and y. So let me show you. Yeah, it will basically jump over here as soon as I press play. So I'll tell you about that. We'll speak about that in the later on videos. So as you all can see, we have a component tree over here. Just below this palette over here, we have a component tree. So the parent of this text view is constraint layout. So now if I want to make the text view that is over here in the middle of the constraint layout is nothing but the whole application layout over here. So if I want to make this text view in the middle of the constraint layout, then I may do so by dragging this thing over here to the bottom of our application. I will basically make it over here, and I will press this thing and I will press this thing. So this will basically make it center in the horizontal level, and I'll just constrain it to the top. So this way it will be in the middle. So I can also remove the constraints by pressing this one and pressing this X button over here. If you all can see this thing, X button. So now I won't be doing that, and I will be basically making my text view in the middle of the layout, putting my text view in the middle of the layout. So yeah, let me just quickly do that. Now we'll speak about about the constraints and all of that in the future videos, but for now I want you all to concentrate into this text view. This is a text view, right? And every text view, so if I just highlight this one, so every view, this is a text view, right? Every view in Android Studio, this button is a view, this image is a view, all of these are views over here. So you have to understand what is a view. Let me tell you what is a view first. A view is whatever we see on the mobile screen. So for instance, this is a text view, image view, button, all these are views. Views, of course, that's just common sense. View is something that we see, right? So every view are given specific ID over here. When I highlight this one, it contains an attribute called ID. Okay, so suppose if I want to change the content of this ID, this text view, and there are like let me show you, there are like many other text views over here, like three text views over here. So now if I want to change the text view of this specific ID, this specific text view, how will I do that? Then I will have to give a specific ID to this text view. So by default it will have an ID of text view, and if I add one more thing, it will basically write text view 2. So since I have removed this one, since I have created it using the XML code, then it won't have a ID. I'll have to explicitly write that ID. So over here, let me write an ID like change text. You can give any name to it, that's just up to you. Let me delete off these things because we do not need it for now. So now as you all can see, this is completely in the middle. And now one more thing that I will be showing you in the future videos. This is the glimpse of it. As you all can see, this is something called vertical bias over here, just below this 0 over here on the left side. If I just drag this up, so as you all can see, the place of the text view is just changing over here. So over here it's just 50%, like the half is over here, half is over here, and now this is the 30% from the above and the 70% from below. So that way we can change the orientation of it. I'll just keep it 50, just like everyone does. Okay, let me just quickly change that. Yep, that's 50 now. I do not know if you can see this thing. This says 50 over here, and similarly I can do so by changing this one as well. This is horizontal bias, this is vertical bias. Of course we will see about this in the future videos. For now I'll just leave you with this thing. So now this is a text view, right? And every text view contains an ID. Like every view in Android Studio should contain an ID in order for it to manipulate. If you want to manipulate a view, or if you want to change something, and if you want to gain access to that text view or view, we have to assign a specific ID to it. So now let's move to the coding side. So we have to go to the main activity.java file. So basically we have to first create a text view over here. Of course we already have created the text view, but we have to gain access to that text view, right? So in order to gain access to that text view, we have to go to main activity.java and we have to write capital T text view, and as you all can see it says android.widget. The text view is this thing. Let me press enter. So enter will basically import the text view file, the widget, and I will have to give a name for this one. So suppose if I want to name the text view that I want to change as change text view, then I may do so by writing this one. And after writing every line of code in Java, this is a Java programming language, so after writing every line of code we have to write a semicolon. Okay, just remember that. Oops, yeah, just remember to do that. We have to write a semicolon after every line of code. Of course we do not have a semicolon over here, but we will speak about Java in the future videos, so don't worry about this. Just copy the thing that I'm writing over here. And soon after that we have something called super on create saved instance state. Just ignore this one, and the set content view r.layout.activity main. So this will basically set the content of our application, the main activity.java, the content, the layout of the application. So this is the activity main, right? So we are connecting this with this. So when I run the program, when I run the application, it will basically show me the layout that is inside this activity main. So activity main contains this, and this only contains a text view, so it will show us that. So let me just press play over here. So as soon as I press play, it will basically run my application. It will take some time, so I'll just pause the video and come back as soon as this thing finishes up. So as you can see over here, so as you all can see over here, when I ran my application, this was the output that I got. So it basically showed me the text over here, that is over here. So what if I just remove this one and press this button over here? So it will basically apply changes and restart the application. It won't run the whole application again. So let us check what will be the output. So as you all can see, if you can see this thing, I don't know if I can zoom in this a little bit. Oops, what did I do? Okay, yeah, so as you all can see over here, what's happening? So as you can see over here, the application, the text view that was over here down below, or okay, I have to choose the API theme, and I'll have to choose the this one. For some reason this is changed now, so let me just bring the thing that was before. So yeah, so as you can see over here, this is over here. Even if this is over here, and remember that this is not constrained, right? So If it is not constrained, by default it will go to this top view. So that is basically about 0 comma 0 to the top. So now if I just press the, I don't have to press this one, and press the this one, and then press this one to make it constrained on the left on and not the right. So this will basically be the middle. So if I run this again and apply the changes, and it will basically come over here. So in order for us to keep this thing into the place that we want, then we have to basically constrain it to the parent. So the parent of this thing's constraint layout. We'll speak about layout in the future videos. Now comes the real question. Now what if I want to change the text of this thing? So it is this one, right? So now what if I want to change the text of this thing? So I can do so. So remember, we basically created this text view, change text view, right? So now I'll write a line of code, then I'll explain you what that is. All right, change text view is equals to find view by id r dot id dot change text. I'll explain this text, explain the code over here in a moment. So over here, we are taking this text view that we have declared over here. This is just a declared text view. This is not connected to this thing. So in order to connect this thing, this text view to this thing, we have to write this line of code, find view by id r dot id dot text. I'll speak about this thing in a moment. And of course, you know what are views. Views are something that we see. Views is whatever you can see on the mobile screen. So this text view is a view as well. So if you all remember, for every view we can give a specific id so that we can use it when we require. So id help in identifying the specific view. So if I want to find the, of course this text view contains the id change text, right? So this is the id of this thing. So whenever an id is given to a view, an entry, so whenever I give an id to a view, an entry is made inside r.java class. So whatever this is r, so this is r, right? So whenever I write id to any view that is inside my Android Studio, automatically the id will be added to this r. And now in order to gain access to the id, we have to write r dot id, of course this is id, right? Id dot the name of the id. So that way I will be able to gain access to this one. Find view by id will basically find the is a method. Basically it is a method that finds the view from the layout resource file that are attached with current activity. So this is attached to this current activity, right? r.id text change text, right? So in order to find a view, we have to write this method, and inside the method we have to write the name of the id. So r is nothing but whenever we add an id, that id will be added to this r. You will understand this once you understand what is Java, so do not worry about it. If you do not understand, it's okay. So class dot id dot this one change text. So now we have access to this text view. So now if I want to change the value of a text view, I can do so by writing change text view dot set text. So as you can see over here, there are many more methods over here. S dot, we have to write dot over here, and I have to write set text. So if I do that, and if I write I'll have to write the text inside double quotes. So this is the double quote over here, and I will have to write hello, this is an edited text. Okay, I'll write a exclamation mark as well. Okay, and now I'll just press this A button. So this will basically rerun the application, and look at this. I'll increase the size of this thing so that you can see this thing properly. So it is basically running. Or did it run? It's not running for some reason. It will run, don't worry about it. It is executing the task. Just look at this text over here. 0 errors found. That means there are no errors. So now it will basically apply the changes. So, and boom, as you can see, hello, this is an edited text. So now we are able to change the text. Now what if I want to gain access to the text that is over here? I suppose we can do that. There are like many more methods of it, which I'll be giving you a link in the description of this video or perhaps in the resources. So I'll write change text dot get. Yeah. So now if I want to gain access to the text, so I'll just write toast. I'll just write a toast over here. And inside the text, I will write change text view dot get text dot to string. So it will basically change the text to a string so that we are able to show this toast message inside our application. Let me press this one. And remember, this onCreate method, this is an onCreate method. This onCreate method will be hello world. This is my first program. So as you all can see, we are gaining access to the text that is inside over here. So we can do so by writing that, and there are like many more methods for this one. We can gain access to many more things. I'll be giving a resource file where you can see all of the stuff, but mainly we'll be doing two things over here. We'll be basically changing the text, or we'll be gaining access to that text. Okay, we'll be gaining getting the text over here. So these are the two things. And toast is, you saw what is a toast. Of course, I guess you have seen a toast in your life if you have ever used an application. So this is the toast that you are seeing. This is the line of code. You do not have to remember anything. Just have to write TOAST and choose the second option over here. If I write this one, nothing will happen. Okay, TOAST, choose the second option. So this will automatically complete the text. Okay, so now it will say toast dot make text. This we have to pass the context. Context basically means it is the context of the current state of the application. It can be used to get information regarding the activity and application. It can be used to get access to resources, databases, and shared preferences. So this is the context. Context basically means the current state of the application. We have to pass this over here. That means this application, this main activity.java file. This is the context. Okay, and now we have to pass the thing that we want to show inside our toast. So over here, I just wanted to show the text that I got from the text view. So this is how we are supposed to show. And now we have to write a comma, and we have to write the till when the toast should show. Like in a short period of there are like two options over here. Length.long will basically show the text for like 5 to 6 seconds. Length.short will basically show the text for 3 to I guess 2 to 2 seconds, I guess. I'm not sure. And after that, .show will basically show the text that we have created over here. This is the toast over here. And if I write 2 front slashes, this will basically make this as a comment line. We'll speak about comment lines. Don't worry about it. I'll just remove this one. Yeah. So this is the text, the toast over here. And in the next video, in the same project, we'll be working on buttons. We'll see what are buttons. So as you all can see over here, if you all saw over here, this is a button, right? We can drag and drop this button in this way. So we'll see about this thing in the next video. So till then, goodbye and take care.